One of the things that separates A-Train Station from everything else out there is our customizability. And one of the things that we do with customizability is we allow you to say what books you have, like many other software, but we also, because there's so many books to look at, we also give you some flexibility in which books you see, as well as giving you the opportunity to use multiple sets of these books for different purposes. Now, my setup's a little bit different than a lot of people's, but I think you'll learn what's going on here. My main book set, so these book sets that we call them, they're collections of the places that you can play, as well as the books that you want to see what they're offering. Because here's the thing. When you're looking at books in A-Train Station, when we're going to the plays, the bet details screen, and you're looking into seeing what's going on in the market, there's information value from a lot of the books that you can't play at. They tell you a lot of things, even if they're not weighted books. We'll cover weighted books in a separate video. But even if they're not, you at least can see what's going on in the broader market, or who might have plays, or even just where you might want to consider getting accounts at if you're able to. So what we do here, and what I have on mine, the books that are checked are books that I want to include in my results, especially for the plays page when I'm looking at top-down betting and positive EV, or really any scenario in which I'm going to place a bet. The books here that I've checked on are places that I want to designate as places I can play. It doesn't matter if I really have an account there or not. Like Bet Chris, for example, I don't really have an account at Bet Chris. I can't. I'm in the US, right? But I like having that in that list because I know that they have the same ownership as Bookmaker, but I also know that sometimes Bookmaker doesn't have all the same lines available in their feed that Chris does, even though that those lines may be at that book. So I like to see both Bet Chris and Bookmaker. That's the kind of thing you would do. Now, you'll also notice there's these little down arrows, and these allow you to hide books. And you'll see what that is down here on my list is a bunch of books that typically are duplicates. Caesars is a good example here. Caesars has books that are state specific now. And so what I do is I keep Illinois, which is where I happen to be, and Caesars regular, just because I want to see if there's anything else funky going on at the non-state specific Caesars. And I keep those in the ones that I can view, but everything else is just clutter. I don't need to see all of those. And that's kind of the case with all of these things. They're either not relevant, they're no longer active, they have a duplicate. Like, for example, Canby is a well-known back-end provider to a lot of different books like Bet Rivers and Unibet. I don't need to see a whole bunch of them. It's one system, right? It's one software service. So I use just the one that I can bet at locally, which is Bet Rivers. I keep it in the list, but I don't even have it on in this scenario because they limit me so much I don't even bother. Now, if I was going to go to Bet Rivers in person, I would probably just create a separate book list here and say, I'm going to create a book list called Bet Rivers, just so when I go to the in-person casino, I can bring it up. I have the list. I can say, okay, click on Bet Rivers. I'm going to save that book set. And now, anytime I want to see plays at Bet Rivers, when I'm in my play screen, I can simply just select this Bet Rivers book set, and I'll be able to see plays just at Bet Rivers. And that's a very useful thing, even if you just have, okay, sometimes I'll go play a bunch at Bet Rivers all at once because they limit me so much. I just want to go and hammer everything and be done with it. So if I go to my Power Blend, which is a waiting set that I have that we'll cover in a separate video, this is where I can see all the plays at Bet Rivers based on having selected Bet Rivers up here, right? So we just added this book set. I've selected Bet Rivers, and now all of my results have Bet Rivers in them. So if I go back to my book selection screen, which is really what this video is about, is knowing, okay, I have different book sets here and I can just adjust them. I can change them to whatever I want them to be. In this case, I have everything, and I need to add one more into this because we've added a book since I last set up this book set. So it's good to go back and check your book sets every now and then. So I can hit save book set. So now everything's selected. And what this allows me to do is for the live stream in particular, I can go in occasionally and say, okay, what are the best bets anywhere, right? And so sometimes we'll do that, especially when I run out of plays to make on my own. And so I'll come in here and do that. Now, the live stream one, I don't use this one too often. I've added a few other popular books, even though I can't play there. I add things like Hard Rock Bet and Bet365 because those are ones that are very popular with people, and we want to make sure that they have an opportunity to see some of those on the live stream from time to time. But again, a lot of times we're so busy making the plays that I can actually make and actually analyze. I find that this is a better scenario most of the time is to use this one. And so the book book sets are nice because they give you flexibility. They allow you to switch in and out of collections really quickly when you're doing searches for plays. They also allow you to do things just for a period of time and say, okay, well, I have no idea when I'm going to go to Bet Rivers again. I don't want that cluttering things up. I'm just going to go to the delete book set and it's going to be gone. And that's that. And so again, you can reorder, you can do save as, so you can start with what you have. And this is useful, especially if you've hidden a bunch of books. You do save as so you're not starting from scratch. We're going to continue to enhance this. We're going to group some things together. We're going to make it a little bit easier to use over time. We're also going to be doing some interesting things with stats and collections and league by league stuff. So this is going to continue to grow. But right now, it's still pretty powerful as it is. So it's just, it's fairly self-explanatory. Note that you have this select all. You can click it on or off to remove all of the checkboxes. So this is a pretty powerful tool for helping you create that customizability that you need to cater and to curate A-Train Station to exactly what you want to be using as a sharp bettor. And so this is the kind of thing that we do in all that we've created within A-Train Station, because we want this to be custom fit for you. By allowing you to do these kinds of book sets, and what you'll see on the weighting screen with all the different weighting sets that you can do, this is a way for you to customize the software at a level that nothing else out there allows you to do. That's really the key for this page, is just knowing you can, set up many of them. You can set up one. If you're just starting out, you have, just a handful of books, just have them all in one book set. Don't overcomplicate it. This is one that can be very simple. You're not going to see too many people who have more complicated than me, other than folks that may be doing things like, we know we have members that travel from state to state. Great example of why you might want to have multiple book sets. If you spend some time in one state versus another, and you're going back and forth when you're using the station and making plays, great example of that. In-person betting, great example of that. Going to Vegas every few days, hey, more power to you, right? So those are the kinds of things that you'll be able to do with this. So with that, thank you for watching this help video. Again, plenty more videos on the YouTube channel. We'll teach you everything you need to know about A-Train Station, as well as a whole bunch of the strategic and concept videos around top-down betting, bottom-up betting, how we're using stats, how we calculate things like worst-case devigging and no-vig lines. So much to learn. But this is the difference with A-Train Station, is that we help you become a sharp bettor, not just make some sharp plays. So as you learn, this tool becomes something that you use and you control, and it helps you execute your strategy in the best way possible. It's not some sort of algo tout that just says, hey, trust my magic number. You're in control of the numbers with A-Train Station, and that's the way it's going to be. So thank you for watching this. We'll see you on the next one.